Tom Campbell alongside comedian Adam Pacitti this morning. I want to read a little excerpt from metro.co.uk. GB News once again thrown into disarray as comedian Adam Pacitti subtly mooned actor turned failed mayoral candidate Lawrence Fox whilst on air.
Thank you very, very much. I've got a few bit I wanted to... cracks already starting to show on GB News. Must have been a full moon last night. Join us.
Join us is a good one. I like that one.
All solid stuff. But you know what? My mum hasn't found out yet, and it's in all the online papers and that, and I'm dreading it, mate.
Mate, Big Nigel's going to have your back. Easy. Nige Pack has got your back on that one. Anyway, let's do some wrestling news. A lawsuit has been filed against WWE over the Saudi Arabia deal. More details on AEW Rampage have been revealed. And a former WWE NXT star has retired. Find out who in a bit. So the lawsuit back in, I think it was November, that was settled by WWE for nearly $40 million. Sadly, not the end of the woes for WWE regarding Saudi Arabia. A brand new lawsuit's been filed against WWE, once again to do with the Saudi Arabia deal. What's the story, Adam?
So the WWE directors, including Vince, Stephanie, Triple H, have been accused of telling investors that they were renewing a deal with Orbit Showcase Network in Riyadh, doing so whilst allegedly knowing that OSN wouldn't actually be renewing their deal. Also, the lawsuit alleges that WWE misled investors about the possibilities of signing a replacement deal. So this could be a very, very costly thing for WWE. It's once again bad PR, but that comes with the territory of these shows. The thing about it is, like, I don't want to say this is a drop in the ocean or anything, but they are making so much money with these shows that they will still be very, very profitable, even if they get sued until the cows come home, you know?
Absolutely. There's still plenty of money to be made. The lawsuit goes on to say that WWE stock fell from $62 per share to $44.50 when the details of the deal, or lack thereof, in the Middle East came to light. And the argument is that actually you sold a lot of stock without telling us this, and it might have been very different. The actual complaint that's been filed is breach of fiduciary duty, unjust enrichment, aiding and abetting, and the plaintiff is seeking punitive and actual damages, costs and fees in relief. When we have more, we'll let you know more at cultaholic.com. Meanwhile, over on AEW, Tony Khan was chatting on PW Insider. Give us a few more details on Rampage, namely how they're going to be putting the show together. It's going to be coming to us in August, Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern on TNT. Rampage is going to be taped some weeks, live others. What they're going to try and do, according to Tony, is they're going to be having it so when it's a go home for a pay-per-view, they'll make sure Rampage is live. They will tape other weeks, and when they do tape, it'll be taped as part of a block of AEW Dark and AEW Dynamite. So there'll be some episodes of Dynamite you'll go to. You're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. You're going to get like 8 hours worth of wrestling.
Absolutely. I mean, this is quite exciting because with the go-home shows airing live, who knows what's going to happen? It's another hour of TV that they can squeeze in some really, really exciting stuff. Maybe stuff that they didn't have time for on Dynamite, but it's also closer to the pay-per-views themselves, so it will increase hype for the pay-per-views that weekend.
SmackDown was always really good, has always been really good for that, being like the Friday before the pay-per-view on the Sunday, like that SmackDown go-home has always been pretty exciting in terms of the build-up for a pay-per-view as well. How does this affect other shows within AEW's locker? Well, Elevation is going to be shortened. It's still going to be filmed as part of Dynamite, but AEW Dark, now this is cool, I like this. AEW Dark, they are looking to basically put out in a different venue. So that, along with that and some other content, I wonder whether Dark is going to have a sort of NXT style vibe to it, a smaller show, a more intimate show where stars can earn their way onto Elevation and then to Dynamite.
You would think so, wouldn't you? I hope it has a different look to it. I think that's one thing that it's missing a little bit at the moment, is that Dark could feel like its own show as opposed to the show they tape at the same time as the other show. So hopefully that gets a bit of a stronger brand to it. They are putting out a hell of a lot of content right now. And I am excited. It's an hour-long show, close to the pay-per-view, so I think that's something to get excited about. But goodness me, there is a lot that they are producing for a company that has been around for quite a short while. But then again, they've got a massive roster, haven't they? It's huge.
Two of those are the acclaimed Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, and they came up in Tony Khan's chat with PW Insider. Apparently, it wasn't just AEW that wanted a piece of Caster and Bowens, was it, Adam?
No. WWE also had their eye on those two wrestlers. In the interview, Tony said, I think they were both people WWE wanted, and I really wanted to use both of them. And then I thought about it, and I had this thought about the Acclaimed, and I brought them together. And there's a lot of teams that have gotten, I think, the benefit of Dark and Elevation as platforms that are the kind of teams that I've put together. Tooting his own horn, quite a lot here. The same, the Acclaim got the amazing reaction to Double or Nothing, particularly in the beginning of the Battle Royal when Max rapped. Anthony is an actor, such a versatile wrestler. They are gold together. You know what? When they are back on the road, good and proper, I think it's going to be very, very difficult to keep these two babyface, because when he comes out rapping, you cannot help but smile and laugh, and he's so bloody funny. They're all complete zingers, and they could be doing the most despicable things in the world, but I find them so entertaining and so humorous, and I feel like a lot of people probably feel the same way, that, yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one to keep them bad.
It's going to be hard to keep them down. We send our best today to WWE legend Ed Leslie, a.k.a. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. His wife, Missy Leslie, put a somewhat concerning post on Facebook last night talking about how she wants prayers for her husband. He's had a really high blood pressure, shortness of breath, quite a bad headache, and he's been to the doctors on Wednesday. So it would, if this was just something mild, you wouldn't be putting it online and asking for prayers. So we don't know the full extent of it, but just wanted to take a moment to send best wishes to Brutus the Barber Beefcake, a man of many gimmicks within the industry and a man who's been around for a very long time. We send our best to Ed Leslie. And finally, WWE NXT star is hanging up the boots. ACH is saying farewell, Adam.
Absolutely. Announced this quite quietly, I guess. Didn't make a big deal out of it, and he made the point of making that point. Taking to Instagram and saying, no need for all the dramatic or emotional wordplay. As of today, I will officially step away from professional wrestling. Thanks for all the support and love. He's been doing a fair bit since his time in NXT as Jordan Miles, where he won the NXT Breakout Tournament, of course. He's an incredibly talented wrestler. He's been doing stuff for MLW, for GCW, for New Japan Strong. He's been all over the shop, and this came as a real surprise. And you know what? I think it's a really sad thing, because you watch him and like he's so unbelievably talented. And I don't want to sit here and speculate, but I wonder what's brought this on.
It can just be a case a lot of people after the last 12 months have just felt a bit jaded by the whole thing, and maybe are looking at a point where, do I want to throw everything back into wrestling now it's back up and running? I know quite a few people who I've spoken to have gone, I don't even know if I want to re-enter wrestling after all this is over the last 12 months. So I know while some are so excited about it, some are like, you know what, I'm quite happy just to let it go at this point. And ACH seems to be one of them.
Yeah, it's changed a lot of people, this, hasn't it? I think a lot of people have a different outlook on life generally, not to get too sort of crappily philosophical about things. Whatever the reason is, I hope he's doing all right. And he is so talented that I think he could go on and do a range of different things and be very, very successful in them.
More news later today, including the potential return of a WWE institution, which I'm intrigued by. We'll have more on that at youtube.com/Cultaholic later. It's a little bit of a hook and tease. Later on today, we'll make sure that we get to the bottom of it.
What's he like? Speaking of arses, Andrew is, of course, going up against me in the predictions contest for Hell in a Cell, with the loser taking part in Hell in a Smell 4, and you can expect to see those predictions online later today also, so stay tuned for that.
I don't know if it's good for either of you to do Hell in a Smell. I don't know. Sure. I don't know who wins there. If whoever wins, I think we all... No!
I'm done.
No! This isn't GB News!